even though it's spelled Fanny, F-A-N-I, Fani. How about that one? How about that one with her lover? Nathan Wade, her lover. Let's go get Trump. Because if they go after Trump, they can pay him more money. And then she can take beautiful trips on the sea, beautiful trips to foreign islands. Her and her lover, they have such a good time. The guy got paid almost $1 million and he never did it before. But he did the other thing before that he did with Fani. He did plenty of that.
Now, if she says, well, I only want a little bit of this, a little bit of that, okay, we can agree. Right? So you always got two options. And in any case, you got two options. You can either agree or go to trial or agree. Nathan has chosen not to go to trial. Nathan has chosen to agree, but why? Everybody remember this. This is very important. The only reason that Nathan signed this, and I showed you guys the signatures, the only reason that Nathan signed this is because he was protecting Fani. Please, somebody write protecting Fani. Hashtag protecting Fani in the chat. It was Operation Protect Fani.
He protect her here. He protect her on the stand. He protect her by getting off the case, and she stayed on.
All right. AV is breaking it down. That is exactly right. That is exactly.
Remember when Fani was on the stand, was like, you lied here, you lied here, you lied here. Nathan was protecting her here, here, and here.
Has he ever visited you at the place you laid your head? So let's be clear, because you lied in this. Let me tell you which one you lied in. Right here. I think you lied right here. No. This is the truth, Judge. And it is a lie. It is a lie.
I don't feel like my reputation needs to be reclaimed. Let's say it for the record. I'm not embarrassed by anything I've done. I guess my greatest crime is I had a relationship with a man, but
with a married man.
That's not something that I find embarrassing in any way. And I know that I have not done anything that's illegal.
Welcome back to the AV7 channel, where we talk about all things law, crime, and a little bit of political debauchery. Today, we're diving into a new angle on the ongoing saga involving District Attorney Fani Willis and the Trump case. Recently, there have been significant developments surrounding Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade, shedding light on the personal and legal challenges he faces. First, let's address the resignation of Nathan Wade from his role as special prosecutor on the Trump Georgia election case. On March 15, 2024, Wade tendered his resignation, citing personal reasons. However, it's important to note that his departure comes amidst public scrutiny surrounding his affair with DA Fani Willis, which has garnered significant media attention. But, dear viewer, the drama doesn't end there. Just weeks after his resignation, Nathan Wade found himself in hot water once again. On April 3, 2024, Wade's ex-wife submitted a request to hold him in contempt of court. The reason? Allegations that Wade failed to pay medical bills and did not comply with the court order directing him to do so.
Says, hello, Nathan, my lovely husband. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow at 3:30. Not sure if I will need to pay when I arrive or not. If I do, how would you like me to contact you to settle the bill? This is a nice tone to an email, good email. And this was sent on March 17th. And Nathan responds March 17th. In the future, please give me notice. I have a work schedule to keep and I can't just suddenly stop to accommodate without notice, okay?
Wow. Wasn't he released from his job on the 15th?
Was that it? Was that the day that he gave the resignation?
I think it's the 15th.
He says, I will make reasonable efforts to be available if they reach out via phone around that time. Now, guys, I mean, this is not unreasonable for him to be like, hey, man, give me a heads up. That's reasonable. That's reasonable.
Yeah, he resigned on the 15th.
He resigned on the 15th, but he says, I have a work schedule to keep up with. Shout out to AV calling him out. Shout out to AV calling him out like, What work schedule? Nigga, you fired.
It was in his head.
Somebody write AV in the chat. Fact checking this black dude. Like, what do you mean you got a work schedule? You just resigned. You're capping. All right. Shout out to AV calling him out. Talking about you got a work schedule and you just can't stop to accommodate. Yes, you can. You ain't got nothing to do.
Now, let's take a closer look at what contempt of court entails and why it's detrimental to a party in divorce proceedings. Contempt of court occurs when an individual fails to comply with a court order or behaves in a manner that obstructs the administration of justice. In divorce proceedings, contempt can result from various actions, such as failing to pay child support, disobeying custody orders, or refusing to disclose financial information. Being found in contempt of court can have serious consequences, including fines, imprisonment, or other sanctions. Additionally, it can damage a party's credibility and reputation in the eyes of the court, potentially influencing the outcome of the divorce proceedings. Let's talk a little bit about a timeline and important things to note. Nathan and Joycelyn Wade were married on June 21, 1997, and separated on August 15, 2021. Nathan Wade filed for divorce on November 2nd of 2021, one day after being hired by Fulton County.
Can you explain why you filed for divorce one day after you were hired by Ms. Willis? You filed on November 2nd of 2021. You're hired on November 1st of 2021. Why the day after?
You mean one day before? So
you filed for divorce one day after you were hired, right?
Okay. I'll answer your question.
Okay, please.
So in 2015, when my wife had the affair, we had a conversation that we would divorce. Right then.
It is a lie. It is a lie.
Again, the better practice, at least for my children at the time, was to stay in place until the youngest could graduate and matriculate into college. We did that. When she graduated, matriculated into college, at the time my wife had moved back and forth to Houston, to Texas. So she's in Texas. We take our child off to college. We come back to Georgia for a brief period of time. Divorce gets filed. She gets served. There we go. Now, the reason that date was selected.
Yes, sir. That's what I asked.
The specific reason that specific date was selected was because she was only in town for a brief.
Your Honor, this is attorney-client privilege. Why he decided to file this.
And why do you have the right to object on his behalf for attorney-client privilege?
Because.
Well, I don't make formal.
All right, there we go. And
I believe that he's already attempted to answer this question, and there was no privilege raised. So he's given a partial answer, and now he's about to finish that. So, first of all, I don't think it's covered by attorney-client privilege, and I'll deal with that if you want me to. But otherwise, he's already answered part of it. So he doesn't get to say, now I'm going to stop. So.
Well, it was a long preface, but I don't think it ever actually got to what might have been at issue there. So if you can lay the foundation, we'll deal with the objection.
Okay. Take a step back, okay? You realize that an attorney-client privilege is the privilege of the client, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you, in connection with your representation, at least it's been proffered to the court by Mr. Bradley, that it's up to you to decide whether you want to raise the privilege, right?
Yes, sir.
It's not up to Mr. Bradley.
Yes, sir.
So you have the power, in order to get to the truth of the matter, you have the power to waive the attorney-client privilege, do you not?
I believe that's an appropriate question. Certain privileges there.
Whether he uses it or not, it doesn't matter why. Mr. Sato, I think if we're trying to get to the answer to your question, let's figure out whether it covers the question you were trying to get to.
And if I may finish, and your position is you have no intention of waiving your attorney-client privilege, correct?
That's correct.
All right, so now, Can you answer the question why you waited until November 2nd, the day after you were hired by Ms. Willis, to file for divorce?
I can.
Okay.
So, again, Joycelyn had relocated to Texas, and she had been in Texas for months. She was only here for a brief period of time to drive my daughter's car back with her. And when she came here to do that, I was able to then get her served.
Okay, so your answer as to why you waited until the day after you were hired by Ms. Willis, which would be November 1st, 2021, to file the complaint for the divorce on November 2nd, 2021. Your testimony under oath is because your wife was here, but had not been here in October, had not been here in September, had not been here in August of 2021.
She had been in Texas taking care of her ailing mother and
your testimony,
an aging father. So the first opportunity that I had after speaking with my lawyers to take care of that was the date it was filed and served, because she happened to be here. It had nothing to do with, that was purely coincidental, that contract.
I understand it's purely coincidence, your testimony.
Yes, sir, and understand that this was by agreement between she and I, she being my wife and I, that we would divorce when the children matriculated out, and that there would actually have been an agreement attached to the filing. It became apparent that the agreement wasn't going to happen, and things got a little contentious. So that's when the privilege will kick in, and I was forced to do it when I did it.
Joycelyn Wade files a motion to reopen discovery. Michael Roman files a motion on the same day in January.
Signed, Joycelyn Wade.
So, Lead, from your experience, we're looking at the dates on the screen. It says January 30th, and we saw that this document was filed yesterday. What's the significance, now that we've read through it, of why there's just such this huge gap in time from when they drafted this to when it's like ordered and executed?
Yeah, here's the thing. This was signed, like you said, in January, and everything was going fine. Shout out to Andrea. Andrea is the attorney for Joycelyn. Andrea says that, listen, boy, I'm gonna give you a pen, and you're gonna sign what I put down on this paper. And as long as you reach this agreement and make all your payments, I'm not gonna tell a soul. I'm not gonna tell a soul. So you're gonna sign this on January 30th. And no one's going to be the wiser as long as you pay. But what's the key phrase? Pay. As long as you pay. The instant you stop paying, I'm going to expose what is going on. And so Nathan says, fine, I'll agree to pay over $100,000 with no job. Has anybody tried to pay $100,000 and ain't got no job? Has anybody in the chat tried this? What's gonna happen? Non-payment, declined. And so what has happened? Well, now that we know that this was the agreement, now let's go back, guys, and remember what this was. This is what is this that was filed yesterday, April 3rd? It is an application for citation for contempt. What does contempt mean? You have violated the court order. What court order did Nathan supposedly violate? The agreement. Guys, what happens when you reach an agreement? The judge takes the agreement and turns it into a court order. So now that court order is law. That is binding law as between you two. And if you fail some part of the agreement, you have violated the law, so to speak. And so now this is what Joycelyn is saying. Joycelyn has brought this application for contempt and saying, Nathan has violated the law. Now, let's see what specifically has he violated. I want to know. Now, Joycelyn is going to explain to us how Nathan is in non-compliance. Shout out to Andrea, boy. Andrea, $45,000 for this case. Andrea eating. Shout out to Andrea. I'm gonna get her on here. What does it say? Andrea says, listen, Judge, the temporary agreement states for the healthcare expenses that Nathan is going to pay all uncovered health expenses. All right. Capped at $500, and in addition, going to pay routine dental and vision. Sha-la-la-la-la. All right. So we already know. Number one, Nathan is supposed to pay uncovered medicals.
But wait, there's more.
Andrea says, Joycelyn Wade urgently requires medical procedure, namely an
endoscopy.
Endoscopy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
She needs an endoscopy. She needs a colonoscopy. And she needs an ultrasound. That's $50,000 all day long. That's $50,000 all day long. Guys, you see, woo, Nathan!
There's an agreement to stop Fani Willis from being deposed. Then there's an urgent medical procedure needed. Nathan Wade tells his children to get money from Joycelyn, resulting in dire financial straits.
This says instanter. This says immediately, instantly. Did Nathan pay immediately? No, Nathan was advised, says, hey, the total cost is $3,800. The test for the allergy is $300. The ultrasound is $300. I'm advising you of the cost. It says I cannot even schedule the procedure without the fees being paid. So now he is advised that the fees need to be paid. He's supposed to pay immediately. Nathan says, I think the simplest thing to do is for you to pay and get your treatment done, and I can reimburse you later, baby.
She sent him that email on Monday. He responded on Thursday.
Yes. Great point. Great point. So if we're going to call a spade, Nathan is in violation. I was trying to help you out, boy. Shout out to Cat Williams. But it looks like you're in violation. You know, if it was just the first part about she had to send you an invoice, she didn't send you an invoice, so you're off the hook. But Andrea went on and said if the medical providers require payment at the time of service, you got to pay instantly. And you did not pay instantly. As AV pointed out, you waited 3 days, but even you didn't pay in 3 days. You waited 3 days just to tell her that you would pay her even later.
As the story continues to unfold, we'll be here to provide you with the latest updates and insights. Stay tuned for more coverage on this evolving situation. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. See you in the next one. Bye.